Doctors still have a lot to learn about preventing, diagnosing, and treating concussions. The more information researchers discover, the more new questions they find begging for answers. Now, new nationwide data being analyzed at Tulane suggests females may be playing at a higher risk. 16-year-old Rebecca Boyette's family can't recall a time she didn't play basketball. It's been a staple in the teenager's life.
This is me in 9th grade with our basketball team.
But now, trophies and pictures are all that's left. The last game Becca played was for Cabrini High last December.
And me and this girl were fighting over the ball, and when I went to go take the ball from her, she threw her shoulder into my chin, and that caused my jaws to hit my skull.
It seemed like the normal price of playing. Becca didn't feel injured, but something wasn't quite right.
You don't remember the girl elbowing you? Or
No.
None of it?
None.
But you went back in and played the fourth quarter?
Yes.
What was that like?
I don't remember that either. I remember being dizzy, but that was it.
That day was Becca's 16th birthday. There were no symptoms after the game or even the next day, until she went to Celebration in the Oaks, where her doctor believes the thousands of twinkling lights triggered what's turned into a year-long nightmare.
And I was like, I don't think I can do this. I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up. And everyone was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm starting to have a headache. I was like, I'm nauseous.
By the time Becca's friends got her home, she was having convulsions.
She was shaking so bad, and I just knew something was wrong.
Becca's mom, Gail, rushed her to the emergency room. Doctors diagnosed Becca with a whiplash concussion. Even though her head hadn't sustained a direct impact, like, say, in a car wreck or a football tackle, her jaw hitting her skull generated enough of an impact to cause a concussion. Tulane running back Stephen Barnett is familiar with concussions as well. His came during a practice freshman year.
Running down on kickoff full speed, and that's kind of all I really remember. And I know that I ran into it with another one of our players. Next thing I kind of remember, I was in the training room.
So you don't remember going down, getting back up, walking off the field?
No, ma'am. I don't remember any of that.
Becca and Stephen have the same doctor and had the same prescribed recovery treatment. Turn the brain off as much as possible.
But just rest, that's the big thing. No practice, no film, no interaction, no TV, no nothing. It's like go to jail.
I couldn't text, I couldn't watch TV, I couldn't have like any light would hurt my eyes, any noise, even them talking. I was just trapped in a dark room.
Difference is, Barnett was back to full speed in 2 weeks. Becca spent an entire month in isolation and still wasn't much better.
I couldn't get words out. I didn't know the right words to say. And if I tried to spell a word, I'd spell it wrong.
Now, 11 months after her concussion, Becca's made progress, but still has debilitating symptoms. Headaches, blurry vision, forgetfulness, sensitivity to light and noise. She can't get her driver's license and will never play basketball again.
And you just never dreamed playing basketball she could get hurt that bad, not even hitting her head. You just never expected, and I'm still in shock. I worry about it every day, what's going to happen in the future. You know, how long is this going to take?
It may seem puzzling that a high-speed college football kickoff injury would heal so much faster than a high school girl's basketball injury. But new data shows females are having a much harder time bouncing back from concussions than their male counterparts. The average recovery time for a guy, 7 to 10 days. But for a girl, it's 3 to 4 weeks.
There is a gender difference. We're finding that a lot of times the guys are coming back quicker than the girls are from the concussion. We don't know why. We just know that it is. We've done studies where we look at the brain, you look at different things, and no one has a real clear understanding of why this is.
Dr. Gregory Stewart is the director of Tulane's Sports Concussion Program and treated both Becca and Stephen. Stewart says even after the average healing time, many females like Becca are fighting lingering symptoms.
They're not getting over it. They're not having complete resolution. They still have symptoms. And some of the symptoms that they have are brought on by activity, whether it's thinking, sitting in school, reading, or even just doing light exercise.
One of the big frustrations for Stewart, a female's concussed brain doesn't look any different than that of a concussed football player.
They're getting some stronger MRIs, and so maybe we'll find something. But on the MRIs that we would normally find problems in a knee or shoulder, we're not seeing anything in the brain.
Stewart says there are no telltale signs or even clues as to why female athletes are having such a difficult time bouncing back. But before doctors can answer the differences in gender recovery time, Stewart says there needs to be more information on how and why the concussion occurs in the first place.
If you look at the hits that happen on a Sunday afternoon, and so many people that don't have problems, and you look at some of the injuries that occur in basketball and how relatively minor and benign they seem, that until we can figure out the difference between the two and why this little injury causes problems that may last a year and why the big hit doesn't cause any problems, until we can figure that out, I don't know that we're going to be able to answer the other questions.
Dr. Stewart doesn't recommend treating female athletes any differently than male athletes. He does say the most important thing is to educate all athletes about concussions and symptoms. Then it's imperative for coaches, parents, and players to live by the motto, when in doubt, sit out. One fact doctors say they do know: returning to action too early can cause concussion symptoms to linger or even become permanent. Jennifer Hale, Fox 8 Sports.